Hey guys, it's Brittany Blake and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reading the results of my DNA heritage test. I submitted my DNA sample about a little over a month ago and I went through my Ancestry.com. It was a pretty quick process. They said about 4 to 6 weeks and it was definitely more than that 4 than the 6 weeks. So before we read the results, I will give you a brief history of what I believe I am and what I was told I am and what I don't know. So I grew up, my dad's side, his parents, his father's side were entirely from Italy, and then his mom's side was half from Spain and half from Puerto Rico, and then my mom's side, her mom was entirely Polish. Her parents came from Poland. And then her dad is where it gets a little fuzzy. So when they were kids, he used to tell them that his family came over a few ships after the Mayflower and they've been here for hundreds of years and they're probably Native American. And my grandfather, very dark hair, very dark skin, dark eyes. My mom and my aunt and my one uncle got all the light hair and skin from my grandma's Polish side, and then my grandfather and my uncle had the dark hair, dark skin. So we're like, oh, maybe they are Native American. And then a few years ago, my aunt started looking into the family trees and found that his family hadn't been here as long as they said, and that they'd only been here probably as long as the rest of my grandparents, probably the early 1900s. And it was most likely he was somewhere along the lines of British, Scottish, Welsh, maybe German, but no one really knew. So what I'm expecting is roughly 25% Italian, 25% Polish, and then the other 25% kind of split between Spain and Puerto Rico, and then 25% question mark, but maybe British. So I will put my results right here. I will show the map. It gave me a map and then broke down the map with percentages. There's also a section like lesser confidence regions, and I think that's regions that fall under a certain percentile. So let me just pull up my email. So this was kind of not what I expected in certain areas, but most of them are pretty accurate. So as you can see, this is what my map looks like, along with the percentages of what I am for the majority of it, and then we'll pull up the lower confidence regions. Here's the map. And then we're going to pull out the percentages. So 30% European East, which is, I would believe, the majority of the Polish side. Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Austria, Russia, Hungary, Slovenia, Romania, Serbia, Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Lithuania, Latvia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Croatia. And that is 30%, which is way more than, well, a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. Next is 19% Ireland, Scotland, Wales, so that could very well be my grandfather. 18% European South, which is Italy and Greece. 15% Iberian Peninsula, which they say is Spain and Portugal. 7% Great Britain. And then 2% Africa, Southeastern Bantu, which includes South Africa, Kenya, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Angola, Tanzania, Mozambique, and Uganda. So it was not I wasn't expecting that. I feel like in Spanish class they taught that many Spaniards, primarily from Puerto Rico, have a lot of like African in the bloodline somewhere along the line. So that was my guess of where that came from, but no one really knows. And then in the lower confidence regions, so I was a little confused about this because I assumed anything under like 2% would be in here. But, oh, we'll show the updated map. So this is the updated map with the lower confidence regions added. So I'm a little confused just because I assumed it would be anything under 2%. But then we have this 4% Middle East, which includes Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Oman, Yemen, United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, and Israel. And originally I thought, well, maybe it was from Israel because my Polish side has some Jew in there, but So my grandma on my mom's side took this DNA test, and so did my aunt on my grandma's side. My aunt actually hasn't gotten her results back yet, which is shocking because she sent hers in before I did, and my grandma got hers back. And my grandma is, I think, like 70 or 80% that European East, Polish, Russian, and then she had a little bit of Irish. I think it was like Irish, and I don't think it was French. I think it was just Irish. But so there was no Israeli in there, so not sure where that came from. But like I said, if my aunt finally gets her results back and it turns out that's that side of the family, then I will kind of add it into this description. But continuing on with the low confidence regions, I'm 1% Native American, and that says it could be anywhere from North America, Central America, South America. So that could literally be anything. That could be Native American, like my grandfather said. That could be the Puerto Rican. That could be somewhere else in Central or South America. It unfortunately doesn't really give a better explanation or a more like detailed. I don't know if there was more of it, maybe it would have. And then the rest of these are less than 1%. So I have Caucasus, which is Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. Less than 1% Africa North, which is Morocco, Western Sahara, Algeria, and Libya. Then less than 1% European Jewish, which is the Poland, again, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, Hungary, Israel. And I also was thinking, because Israel is counted in that Middle Eastern could still be possibly the Polish. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what my aunt says. And then last is less than 1% Finland/Northwest Russia. So again, not sure if that's just like included with the Russia with the European East, but that is what I am. And a lot of these were like the majority, like the ones that were the bulk of it, the European East, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Europe South, Iberian Peninsula, I was not surprised about at all, but I would love to know where the rest of these came from, especially, you know, they kind of give you a very broad area of where you're from, and I wish it was more broken down or like centralized. My grandma and my aunt, I believe, went through my heritage, and I did my ancestry, and theirs were a little bit more broken down. It was like their map, like let's say how my map was like showing this massive region, it would circle that whole region and then it would kind of highlight where they think the majority of it came from. So I wish it was a little more broken down. I'm not sure if I would do another test. I don't feel like I'm having like an identity crisis or anything where I feel like I need to do another one. But I did find this very interesting. I would love to see other family members take it. I would love to see what my aunt says, because hers is really going to show that breakdown of what her father was, and that's what I really want to know. Everyone else, you know, I have a general idea of what they are. Another thing that was interesting as I was growing up, I believe I found out my Italian side was more of the northern Italian. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that's what I found out growing up. It was more northern Italian, so that could have been mixed with other things as well. But I thought it was very interesting. If you guys also took tests, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys have taken multiple tests, if you suggest it or recommend it. And like I mentioned, if my aunt has some really cool results, I will put that in the like the little summary below, and just kind of update the video with more information. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will see you guys in the next video.